Your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support for life. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
Hey, good morning and welcome to the Missouri Sports Network 4. Hey, it's Where Are They Now Wednesdays with Kent Mueller from Playing On Sports. Always looking forward to this segment every Wednesday morning. Kent, how are you, sir?
I am very good. Thank you.
I tell you what, going over the notes as we talked here a little bit this morning, lots of folks getting into the postseason, and a lot of Missouri athletes here are propelling their teams into the postseason. But how's your week been outside of that?
Hey, it's been a very good week. A lot of things going on. And as you mentioned, the transition from the regular season into the playoffs is always an exciting time. Lots of teams to follow, a lot of players to follow.
Hey, I need everybody out there to do me a favor. You ain't got to tell two friends. Just tell one person. Have that one person tell one person. Tune into the Missouri Sports Network. We've got Where Are They Now Wednesdays. We've got Huddle Up comes out on Thursday mornings. We've got High School Game Day and interviews with student athletes all across the state of Missouri here as we get into the postseason as well at the high school level, but at the college level in NCAA Division I, II, and III. A lot of events going on. We'll start off with softball and Missouri S&T kind of had a milestone.
Yes, they did. And just right before that, to do that, they played McKendree University and pitching for McKendree out of Washington High in the St. Louis area is Ellie Quetham. And they needed to win too. She came in relief and pitched over 7 innings, 7 2/3 innings of shutout ball. And didn't give up a run, picked up her 23rd win. But with the playoff method that they use, they needed to win again against Missouri S&T. But Missouri S&T came back and won the next game. And the nice thing there is that who was the winner of that game for S&T? That was another Missouri product, Bryn Woldridge out of Salisbury. She only gave up 2 runs, striking out 6. She went to 16-12. So Missouri S&T then survived to go to the championship game against Indianapolis. And once again, Bryn Woldridge, she came in and pitched a complete game for the win. That time she went 8 innings for the 3-2 win. Had to go extra innings. She struck out 16 in those 8 innings. And Missouri S&T picked up the win in the top of the 8th with a solo home run by another Missouri graduate. It was Trista Grobe out of DeSoto, Missouri, hit the solo shot for the game-winning run to propel Missouri S&T to the championship over the number 1 team in the entire country, not just the number 1 seed in the tournament. Indianapolis is the number 1 team in Division II softball. So they pulled off something that hadn't ever been done in Missouri S&T history. That was the first women's tournament title in any sport, not just softball, but in any sport. So it's a great week for Missouri S&T. The softball team, they entered the tournament 8 games under 500. They weren't supposed to win the first round. They wind up winning the championship by defeating the number 1 team in the country. That's good stuff.
And that's the Missouri Valley Conference tournament that you speak of, and very familiar with that here in Southwest Missouri, with Drury being a part of that Great Lakes Valley tournament. So there's 6 schools with Missouri talent, 17 local players competing. You can go to the website playingonsports.substack.com to see what they're going to be up to later on in the postseason as well.
That's correct. And and not just softball, but we can move on to baseball. There's a lot of baseball being played now too. They're not in tournament mode yet, but they will be soon. One guy I want to highlight is Gideon Antle. He's out of Licking High. He's playing as a senior outfielder. He's playing at Ohio University, and he absolutely leads the Bobcats in the batters box. He's batting 379, which is top for the Bobcats. On his team, he also leads in at bats, runs, hits, doubles, home runs, RBIs, and slugging percentage. So he's the guy when it's time to bat for Ohio, and uh, he's up high, ranked high in all those stats for the conference and the Mid American Conference, and he actually leads in doubles with 16. And this last weekend was a tough weekend for the team. They played a very good Virginia Tech team out of the ACC. They got swept. But Gideon went 3 for 10 and picked up 2 RBI. Now you can see Gideon play this Wednesday when they travel to Marshall. They'll be playing on ESPN Plus Wednesday evening at 6.
Outstanding. And just on a personal note, I've been fortunate enough to call the NCCAA, which is the National Christian College Athletic Association regional tournament down here in Southwest Missouri. Seeing a lot of familiar names there as well. Outside of baseball, we move on to men's lacrosse, and you look at maybe just who's participating in the NCAA tournaments.
That's correct. It is further into tournament time in men's and women's lacrosse. So thought we'd just take a look at who are the local players still playing, who's representing Missouri and their teams in the NCAA tournaments. Division One men's lacrosse, Georgetown, a highly ranked team, is in the NCAA tournament. They are led in goals by Graham Bundy Jr. He's a graduate midi out of MICDS, and they represent the Big East Conference. Also on that team is Crawford Bundy, Graham's younger brother, who is a junior midi, of course, also out of MICDS. So those two players out of MICDS will represent Missouri, MICDS, uh, and Georgetown in the NCAA tournament. They will play they're seeded number 8, and they will play unseeded Penn State in the first round. Moving on to Division Two, there's not as much men's or women's lacrosse in Division Two as Division One and Division Three. It's still growing out and maturing in Division Two. There's only a 12-team uh, tournament for Division Two, but Maryville University, they have their men's team in there, and it is powered by local talent from Missouri. They have 9 players from Missouri on their roster that have propelled them through the Great Lakes Valley Conference and onto the Division II NCAA tournament. There's Connor Clancy, who's a junior midi out of DeSmet, Nicholas Fine, who's a senior defender out of Lindbergh, Aiden Italiano, a freshman midi out of Lafayette Wildwood, Luke Kelly, a senior attack out of Chaminade. Also out of Chaminade is Alex Feeney, who is a senior midi. Tanner Plackey, he is a senior attack out of Vianney. A goalkeeper, a graduate student out of DeSmet, Dylan Radke. Quinn Sweeney, a sophomore midi out of Lindbergh, and Eli Winbermuley, a freshman midi out of Sackman. So 9 players from Missouri, representing Missouri, representing Maryville in the NCAA tournament. Now they're seeded 5th in their region. There are 2 regions. They're seeded 5th, and they'll play the number 4 seed Lewis University. Now they're familiar with Lewis University. In the regular season, Maryville and Lewis split. They each won their home games, and then they met in their conference tournament where Lewis won by 1 goal, 11-10. So that should be a heck of a game against the Missouri players and Lewis University. The Also is Illinois Wesleyan University. They're coming out of the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin. There are 4 Missouri players. Henry Colombato is a freshman defender out of Francis Howell. Bobby Conroy is a junior midi out of St. Louis University High. Jake Giese is a junior midi out of Chaminade. And Ethan Hare is a senior defender out of Priory. And Illinois Wesleyan, they will open against Aurora University. So a lot of players, 13 total out of Missouri, playing in the 12-team NCAA Division II men's lacrosse national tournament. So it's very good representation.
And that's only men's lacrosse. On the women's lacrosse, you've got some participants that graduated out of the state of Missouri as well.
That's correct. In Division III, playing for Aurora University, which is just right on the western edge of Greater Chicago, is Danielle Cobbett. She's a senior midi out of Lee Summit West. Kara Middleton. She is a freshman attack out of Francis Howell Central. And Allie Pope is a sophomore defender out of Park Hill South. And I'd like to point out that yes, lacrosse is more of a St. Louis sport than Kansas City, but it continues to grow in both of those cities, where all of those men were from the St. Louis side of Missouri. 2 of the 3 girls, ladies, from the Kansas City area. So it's growing in both cities, which is a great thing. Aurora, they'll open their tournament play against Colorado College. The Division II slate, we will have Missouri grads. I am certain Maryville University will be in that tournament. I'm making that prediction. It's also a 12-team tournament, but that slate won't be announced until this coming Monday. On Sunday. So we'll find out who is playing then. So everybody needs to check back on where are they now next Wednesday, to see how all these players are doing.
Well, so far you're batting 1,000 with your predictions.
That's correct. That's correct. Well, I'm stay with the Missouri, with the Maryville Saints women's lacrosse team, and that's increasing my batting average.
You bet. You bet. Again, all this is available at www.playingonsports.substack.com, or you can go to Missouri Sports Network or the scoreboardguy.net and click on the link, big box right there in the middle of the screen. On every scoreboard that comes out that's Playing on Sports, you click on that, and you go right to the website, and you can read about that, see these interviews at all of those locations as well. We also want to update just a little bit. If you'd like to participate and let us know who has scored 1,000 points in their career at your high school, you can mail it or email it to career1000 or Missouri Career 1000 at gmail.com, and I'll run that caption up across the bottom of the screen right now just to make sure that we get it right. It is Missouri Career 1000 at gmail.com, and there we go. I thought I could get it on there, but operator error, and that's coming along quite nicely, as you've gotten several hundred student athletes already added to the list.
That's correct. We're building lists for both the high school boys and the high school girls, and we are well past 100 for both of them. I think that will continue to increase. Well, I know it will continue to increase. I'm certain there will be long lists, and they will showcase a lot of great athletes from going way back. The oldest one that I have so far is from 1959. When there wasn't as much scoring, there were fewer games that were played at that time. It was harder to score 1,000 points, but there were 1,000-point scorers back then, and we're finding some of those. And of course, right up through this last year, and we will continue to add into the future. This will be an ongoing list that we build. It'll be ever growing, and I think ever exciting because of that.
And what else do you have in your docket? I know we're working right now on the Missouri by the Numbers, which will start at 100, and we'll count our way down. That starts on September 23rd, so we'll have 100, for example. Incarnate Word Academy won their 100th consecutive game 2 years ago in the state championship game against Rockbridge, who coincidentally happened to be the last team to beat them, and still is the last team to beat them, as Incarnate Word is now up into the 130s as far as consecutive wins. There's obviously going to be some other, I think, information that I'm excited to find out when I've read about it. And so we hope that you enjoy that as well. But putting together some things here as we head into the fall. Summertime is a little bit slow. You've got some American Legion baseball, summer sports going on, soccer, volleyball, basketball camps, things of that nature, and then get it fired up with football camps starting in July, and then the 2-a-days for football starting there in August, and football season. It doesn't seem like it should be that close, but it is pretty close.
Yes, it is.
Very good. Very good. Well, Ken, as always, greatly appreciate you being part of Where Are They Now Wednesdays here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life.